retreat from the day, lest they develop blisters and swollen red skin. Their inability to withstand daylight made their skin appear pale, and porphyria even caused gums to recede and shrink, making their teeth appear more prominent. So you have people who are pale, they burn in sunlight, they have big teeth, and they stain mysteriously indoors. Sounds awfully familiar, right? Garlic may also have earned some anti-vampire cred for its ability to disrupt blood-sucking pests. For mosquitoes and ticks, the smell of garlic actually jams the insect's smell-based tracking capabilities, making it much more difficult for them to find potential prey. So really, why does garlic work against vampires? There's actually a bunch of reasons depending on the angle you look at it. Its properties are the original superfood, the lore of it scaring away spirits, the allicin it contains, its associations with blood diseases, the fact that it shuts down bloodsuckers like mosquitoes, and the myth of it attacking those with porphyria. This also means that chemically, other allicin-heavy foods like onion, shallots, leeks, and chives, they should all function against vampires in a pinch. Say you don't have an Italian restaurant and it's dozens of cloves of fresh garlic readily available to you, you could just as easily grab an onion or a leek and scare that vampire away. Or at least you could if garlic actually worked on vampires. That's right, forget everything you know about garlic and vampires, friends. It's all propaganda perpetuated by Big Dracula. Let's just reframe everything that we've talked about so far. Despite the evidence that garlic disrupts the tracking abilities of mosquitoes and ticks, there's conflicting evidence that proves the exact opposite of that. That real-life bloodsuckers are actually more attracted to the scent of garlic. In a 1994 study, for instance, researchers actually learned that leeches are more likely to suck the blood from a human hand slathered in garlic than a clean hand with zero tasty toppings. Additionally, garlic actually makes your blood easier to track. You know how garlic's known for making your breath smell? Well, it has a similar effect on your sweat gland. A 2020 study found that garlic's sulfuric properties increases the amount of body odor a person emits. You want to guess where all that BO was coming out of? The most stinky chemicals were coming out of people's necks. You heard that right. Having garlic would actually turn your most vulnerable body part into a freshly baked garlic knot waiting to be bitten into. To make matters worse, remember how I said garlic helps lower your blood pressure? It does this in two ways. The allicin in the garlic dilates the blood vessels while also slightly thinning the blood. Bigger vessels with less thick blood means that it can flow through your body faster. But do you know what that means if you're a vampire? It actually makes your veins easier to drain. In fact, real-life vampires actually do something like this already. Vampire bats actually have themselves a compound in their saliva named draculin. Draculin acts as an anticoagulant, stopping the blood from clotting. This then makes the whole blood drinking process easier because things are staying nice and fluid in there. So really, from a purely scientific standpoint, garlic ain't saving anyone from being an unwitting blood donor. But what about all those spiritual properties that we talked about? Well, while some cultures revere the plant as a gift of immortality from the gods, other ancient cultures believe that garlic is a bit more unholy. According to Turkish legend, garlic sprouted from the left footprint of Satan just moments after he was cast out of heaven. So that, my friends, is why garlic smells like stinky feet, because it came from the most hellishly stinky feet of them all. Even if we look at the cultures where garlic's considered to be holy, we run into yet another interesting hiccup. The traditions of using garlic for protection, they sprang out to protect us against ghosts, not vampires. But if all of this is true, if garlic is truly making a vampire's job easier, why does it always seem to work so well with the media? If garlic is doing all of these things to help the vampires, why are they so afraid of it? Well, the truth is, vampires aren't afraid of it. In fact, they never were. You see, more and more vampire lore is rejecting the whole scared by garlic thing these days. But it's not just the modern day interpretations of the lore either. If you go back to the original source material of Bram Stoker's Dracula, even he didn't intend for garlic bulbs to be the silver bullet against vampires. As it turns out, Stoker's Dracula never once mentions garlic, cloves, or bulbs. Go ahead, do a little quick Control F for yourself on one of the many online manuscripts of the novel. It's out in the public domain. You'll find that when garlic does pop up in the story, it's actually the garlic flower that's mentioned, not garlic bulbs. Now that right there might sound like we're splitting hairs, but it actually makes a massive difference in terms of chemical makeup. The garlic bulb is the part of the garlic plant that we're all familiar with. Those little white paper bags with the stink pods. Those grow underground, and they serve as a storage organ for the plant. The garlic flower, on the other hand, is the above-ground flowering part of the plant produced as part of the reproductive process, long before that bulb underground is ready. As such, the flower is actually much milder, with lower levels of of allicin, sulfur, and nutrients. Garlic bulbs were never actually intended to be a secret weapon at all. In short, the whole garlic weakness thing, it's a lie. In reality, garlic was born of Satan's feet and is making you smell attractive to vampires, making your neck especially smelly, and is making your veins into the equivalent of a big gulp for bloodsuckers. By wearing or eating garlic to repel the vampires, you're actually telling them that you're an all-you-can-eat buffet that's now open. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Happy Halloween. Have you seen the latest trend over at your local Starbucks? Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Aliato, a stomach-churning mix of coffee and one or more full tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, designed to make your coffee drinking experience smooth and satisfying while providing the, quote, good fat health benefits that olive oil is said to provide. As you might imagine, any new Starbucks product is going to spark hundreds of taste testing videos across the interwebs. But something as unusual as this, yeah, it's taking it to a whole other level. Let's just say that the reviews are mixed, which is more than can be said about the drink itself.
Kind of tastes like greasy coffee.
Just looking at it, you can immediately tell that this ain't your dad's brew from the diner down the street. This is a viscous, goopy way to start your day. Let me tell you, if viscous and goopy are the words that you're using to describe your morning coffee, who hurt you? Seriously, we're an open forum. We are here to help. Then again, maybe I'm being too dismissive with all this. Maybe this thing is brilliant and delicious and a new benchmark in caffeinated health. So, is the Aliato a good drink for your taste buds? And more importantly, is it a good drink for your body? Or is this one joining the dishonorable ranks of the Bell Beefer and the McDLT? What could possibly possess a company to do something like this? And just how bad can it really get? Well, stay tuned, because there's more under the slimy surface of the Starbucks Aliato than meets the eye. First of all, before I knock it, I probably should try it, right? I can't just go around judging stuff that I've never experienced. So naturally, when I learned that the Aliato existed, I sent someone else to drink one. As you might or might not know, I'm not much of a coffee drinker, but I am a good theorist. So I recruited food theory creative director Santi to give us his thoughts. Santi, take it away.
It is disgusting, and I hate this. This is by far the worst thing that's ever happened.
Okay, so not exactly glowing reviews there, but most of the time the healthiest foods do tend to be some of the most hated. Liver, for instance, full of nutrients, but that doesn't make it suck any less to eat. So maybe the Aliato's the same way. Maybe there are other reasons that you should be putting olive oil in your coffee that don't involve, actually enjoying it. So I looked a little deeper. But unfortunately, when you lift the hood of this particular beverage, you encounter some issues immediately. As in, before it even goes into your mouth. Take a look at the Aliato menu items. Notice anything? To see the incredibly complicated Starbucks menu items, the one thing that I noticed is that all the Aliato options involve milk. Aliato Golden Foam, Aliato Cafe Latte, and Aliato Iced shaken with oat milk and toffee nuts. Why no straight shot of espresso with a tablespoon of olive oil? Well, the main reason is because the literal chemistry of coffee and olive oil don't mix. That's right, these two items don't even belong together on a molecular level. Coffee is technically a water-based broth. Oil,